Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Brianna and today I'm going to go through what's in my gear bag. Basically what I bring when I play dodgeball at rec leagues, on weeknights, or when I have a tournament. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, let's talk shoes. So I have two favorites right now. The LeBrons are one of them. These are the 16s. I like them because they're really lightweight and I have good ankle support, and they have more interesting colors in this. But I got the simple color because it went well with the USA jerseys when I got them. My other favorites are the Kyries. These ones are fun. They always come in really cool colors, and I got this one because they went great with our finesse jerseys. And again, I like the Kyries because they're super lightweight and they have great ankle support. For me personally, I go more towards basketball shoes because a lot of times we're playing on basketball courts and they have good grip on the court, so I'm not slipping and sliding. I find that a lot of people will wear basketball shoes when they play dodgeball, though some people really like, what are they called, volleyball shoes, because again, they're made for indoor courts, they don't slide, you have good grip on the ground. So as long as you get shoes that have good grip on the ground, and I recommend ones with good ankle support, you should be good no matter what shoes you end up liking. Okay, next let's talk about things that I also always wear when I play. So if you're new to dodgeball, I highly recommend you invest in some knee pads. These are from Balliste, which is a guy named Steve Damon who actually plays dodgeball. He developed these knee pads with a dodgeballer in mind, and I love these because they don't slip too much, so I'm not constantly fixing them in game, and they have really nice side protection, which I found a lot of volleyball knee pads don't have the side padding, and these are perfect. I have these in red, white, and black. And I think he has two versions. This is the version 1. I know he was developing a version 2, but I'll definitely link to him below because I highly recommend these knee pads. Another thing I always wear is a sleeve. I usually only wear it on my throwing hand, though sometimes I will wear it on both. I don't really wear it to like help my throw or anything. I know some players like to wear it because they like the tightness around their arm, but I actually wear it because specifically for the elbow pad. I found that there was too many times where I would like dive for a ball and nail my elbow right into the ground, and it hurt so bad. And for like 10 bucks, I got these sleeves, and they last so long. I've had these for 2 years. I just wash them regularly and they're perfectly fine. And it's worth it for the elbow pad. These are actually the, I believe, yeah, McDavid. I got these on Amazon. Another thing that I always wear is tape. So I use goat tape because I found that when I would get sweaty, a lot of other tape brands would just slip off. So these ones are great because I only need to replace them after I wash my hands, like after I use the bathroom or whatever. But other than that, it stays on and lasts the whole time no matter how sweaty I get. And I'll usually buddy tape. I'm not like taping for grip or taping individual fingers. I just tape because I don't want my pinky to get jammed, because I have so many times where that's happened. And I'll definitely do like a taping tutorial because there's a lot of different ways dodgeballers like to tape. But then recently, a friend of mine actually runs this company called Nagini, and they make these finger rings. Specifically, they made them for volleyball, but they have these buddy tape ones that work perfect for dodgeball. So let me put it on and kind of show. And this kind of replaces the tape for me, so I actually use these a lot more than tape. The only time I use tape is when they're dirty and I just haven't done laundry, because these are reusable. So they're actually made with the same material that scuba gear is made with, so they're water resistant. Like if you get sweat, they're not going to slip off, and they're great because you can wash them so you don't have to constantly buy new ones. But I really like them because it's just for buddy taping and it's perfect. It doesn't get in the way of my grip or anything on the ball. The next thing that's super important is liquid chalk. And I always buy this in double packs on Amazon, and it's called Dry Hands. And basically it's a liquid chalk. So you put it in your hand, rub it, and then the sweat doesn't get to the ball. So it dries your hands out so they stay sweat free and you get a nice grip on the ball. Highly recommend getting this, especially if you have sweaty hands. And then another thing that I always have, but it's not a necessity, is CBD oil or freeze. Yeah, CBD. Basically it's like a Bengay, but way less chemicals, and it's just CBD. And I'll use this after the tournament, especially like my shoulder muscles and my legs when they're really tight or sore. I'll use this as like a post-workout therapy. And then the other thing I always have, and I recommend, is a sweat towel. And you don't have to do anything fancy. You can just get a towel from the dollar store or whatever. Like, you don't need anything fancy. I actually use the Balliste one just because I like to support Steve, and I really like this product because it lasts me the whole tournament, and I sweat a lot, and then I can just wash it. But yeah, I always have a towel because I always sweat, and I just like to wipe my face down. So now I'm gonna go through a couple things that I tend to have with me, but you don't necessarily need. The first is a foam roller. I purposely got this nice little one because it's easy to travel with, especially when I'm not taking a suitcase and I just have a carry-on. Really easy to bring with me. I like to roll out before tournaments, especially because I know it's going to be a long day, and sometimes in the middle of the tournament I'll get a little tight and I like to roll out. So this is perfect for me. I also always have a lacrosse ball. These are so cheap, and it's so worth it because you can roll out some of those harder to reach areas or those smaller areas, and this works great to loosening up tight muscles. And then I use KT tape every now and then. It's just to tape my shoulder. Honestly, I feel like it's a placebo thing for me if I'm being honest with myself. So I really only use it for tournaments when I know it's going to be a long day, but I like to do the shoulder taping method, which they have a video on their YouTube channel on how to do it, and I just feel like it makes me feel safer with my shoulder. Honestly, placebo, you could try it if you want. And then the other thing I always like to bring with me, especially when I'm traveling to tournaments, is mini bands. So I bought like a little pack that has various resistance amounts, and I like to bring these just again to help me warm up and to stay loose in between games, especially if we have like a 10-minute break or whatever. I don't want to get tight, so sometimes I'll just mess around with the mini bands and stretch out my shoulders or whatever. And then at some tournaments I have to ref, so I don't like to share whistles. I mean, even before COVID I didn't like to share whistles, so I have my own whistle, just like a cheap whatever whistle, just to have for reffing. And then I don't have it in my bag currently, but I usually will have ibuprofen in there just in case I get sore during the tournament or if anything happens. I like to have just a little like bottle of it. And then in terms of water, I usually go to the grocery store and get one of those giant gallon water bottles, and that's what I use. And I'll just fill up this little water bottle with it. But I'll just bring the gallon water bottle. I don't have anything fancy like a hydro flask or whatever because I don't want my water freezing cold when I'm playing. And then I always have snacks when I go to tournaments. So right now I have these vegan jerkies in there, Primal Spirit. I'm vegetarian most of the time, so this vegan jerky is the closest thing taste-wise to beef jerky because I used to always have beef jerky in my bag. And then I usually like to have some sort of granola with nuts just for a little bit of extra protein, and the granola for a little carb during the day. But I'm not a huge eater when I have a tournament. I'll usually eat a decent breakfast, and I'll have a banana and a little bit of every food group just to fuel me up. But then during the actual tournament, my stomach's really sensitive and I can't eat too much, so I have to have just little snacks throughout the day. I know some people will bring like sandwiches or bring meals or whatever, but it is definitely good to eat during the tournament. But I know if you're like me, having just a little bit of jerky or some granola just helps me get through the tournament. And lastly, I always have one of these fresheners in my bag. I got like a big pack of them, and they're different sports balls, but they smell so nice, and it's perfect because especially at the end of the tournament when all my sweaty crap is in my bag, I don't want my bag to start stinking, so I have one of these that's always fresh and ready to go just to keep my bag smelling nice. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's pretty much all that's ever in my gear bag. In the description, I'll have a couple of these products linked that I personally stand behind all these. These are actually the things that I use and play with. So I definitely want to link them in case you guys want to support or try any of those out. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and drop a comment with any other topics you'd like me to cover, and I'll see you guys next week.